like I did earlier when I tried to go live before. There was some thoughts that were fresh in my mind, and I was like, hey, I better go live or I'm going to forget everything. Well, first and foremost, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps me out a bunch. My goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of January 2025. Okay, now let's get on with this. So I was just minding my business, watching YouTube videos like I always do. Well, not always, but probably more than I should. And there was literally this story. It happened like almost a week ago. I can't believe nobody told me about it. But evidently there were these people who were dressing up in bear costumes and damaging the inside of some very expensive vehicles like Mercedes and whatnot, and that was their way of trying to commit insurance fraud. It's like, really? You're going to dress up as a bear, but you're going to walk upright, open the car door, and then climb inside. Now, I get that bears do not open doors, and it's been, well documented they can, but obviously not the way a human would, you know what I mean? So these people are caught on camera acting like fools, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I mean, not only is it like, something that somebody brain dead would do, but it's absolutely entertaining and hilarious. And then on top of it all, they literally, even though the costumes had, they had 5 fingers on each hand, right, or each paw. These people decided they would take some weird kind of rake-like things that had 6 points, and they're doing the scraping and stuff, clawing up the inside of this vehicle. So since when do bears have 6 digits on each paw, you know what I mean? They didn't even try to make it look real. I guess they really think that people are stupid or something, but that was freaking hilarious. And then the only other story that topped that was the one where this guy was talking about Gerber baby food. Now, evidently in 1974, right around that period, Gerber wanted to make more money because I guess the baby boomers, like they said, they were already in college or whatnot. So they came up with this idea. What was it, like a meal or a singles in a jar or whatever? So simply put, it was baby food for college students. And that went over like a lead balloon. And I guess their slogan was, here's something you can eat while you're alone. So, that's very depressing because nobody really wants to be alone. And the food was nasty and it was unbelievable they tried to make that work. Like the gentleman said who was doing the video in the first place, it was a very radical failure. I just think that's hilarious, though. And then also let me go ahead and elaborate more about the whole, what was it? Personal ads in newspapers. I mean, yeah, crazy that me being a 17-year-old child at the time went behind my mom's back and put an ad in a newspaper looking for a man. And yeah, if you do that, you clearly, obviously are very ignorant, which I was. And also I opened myself up to predation. That's why a man who was 28, maybe even 29, 30 years older than me decided to respond to that ad. And here, me knowing nothing of the outside world, knowing nothing of people's ill intentions towards me, fell for his crap. Because for some reason, in my very immature brain, I was thinking, oh man, nobody's ever going to want me. I better take what I can get. I think that, standing next to a bomb when it goes off would have been less of a hazard than being involved with that man. He was that horrible. And that's just, a natural consequence for me for doing something stupid. So, I feel like this is the first time in a while I've been able to say, hey, well, a lot of that, what happened had to do with me being disobedient, disrespectful, and just being a brat. You know what I mean? Now, that in no way absolves this man from being the child predator that he is, and does not absolve him for physically abusing me and emotionally and mentally abusing me. He's not absolved of that, but at least I can come here and say, hey, I made a very stupid decision which ended badly. But also, you got to realize that in today's society, the society wants you to believe that it's better for you to be in a relationship with someone who's treating you like dirt than to be single. Because, oh, heaven forfend, you're single. That's just the end of the world. You're just, you're a loser. You're a nobody if you don't have anybody. Okay. Let me know how that works out for y'all. Okay. But yeah, it was just ridiculous. And that was back in 1996. Here I call Tacoma News Tribune, I believe, being from Tacoma and all, and put that ad in the paper. And lo and behold, here comes a predator with ill intentions towards me. And it's really bizarre, too. Like I said, I had no experience with the outside world, really, because my mom sheltered me a lot. I didn't know what people's motives were or how wicked they can truly be. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are a lot of good people out there, but there are a lot of people who are not good. And here I was just a kid and thinking, oh, hey, this dude likes me. He's not good looking at all and not, anything like he claimed to be. He described himself as being this physically fit, good looking, athletical, which isn't even a word, man. So basically the way he described himself as, the way Alan Richson looks in Jack Reacher, right? Which is just so hilarious and ridiculous. So when I did meet him, because it was like a blind date, when I did meet this dude, it's like, oh man. Well, I guess I better take what I can get. Told me he's 35 here. He was like 45, 46, maybe even 47 for all I know. Now what gets me though is, like I said, I was like 17, almost 18 when I met this dude. And like I said, he was like 45, 46 at the time. Now I'm 46 now, you see. Now if I think back, just looking at the dude back then, I feel like he had to have been a year older than that. I feel like he was probably 50. So, because I'm 46 and he didn't look anything like this. Come on now. Whoops. Trying to think of what else I was going to talk to you all about. Well, yeah, I'd already mentioned the whole, the telephone chat lines. Those are poison, too. Those are horrible. Also, another toxic place where predators will, they'll seek you out. And if you're silly enough or foolish enough to meet one of these losers, guess what? You're going to get victimized. Because that's what they do. The only kind of people that, that would frequent that a place like that, if it's a dude, it's somebody either, for one, they've taken a business trip and they want to cheat on their wife in another state because, she ain't going to find out, right? Or it's going to be a guy who's a predator, somebody who wants to do bad things to you and for all you know, maybe kill you. And then it's the other ones that want to lie about who they are and how they look. I believe it's called catfishing. See. Yeah. So, I do feel good, though, being able to take responsibility and be like, yeah, dude, I made some ridiculously stupid, just off-the-wall, cringe-worthy decisions in my life. But hey, it's taking time, but I'm able to rise above that. I hope so, anyways. But yeah, I'll just be minding my own business, having a good day, doing whatever it is that I do. And then all of a sudden, wham, I'll get hit with all these negative thoughts and feelings. And it's like, Jesus, please take this away from me. I cannot do it on my own. That's why I'm continually asking for prayer for forgiveness. God's not going to let somebody into heaven who can't forgive. After all, I'm a sinner too, and I need forgiveness for all my sins. But I can't forgive somebody else for being a broken, wounded sinner just like me. I know. It's just not right. You know what I mean? So, they say where there's a will, there's a way. I feel like the will is there for me to forgive, but it's something standing in the way. Which I'm pretty sure it's me. I'm standing in my own way. And honestly, it really does help to to talk about it, because I know there are people that are going through the same thing when it comes to forgiveness. May not be a situation like mine. For all I know, it's way, way worse. But they want to forgive, but it's difficult for them. It's really difficult. And I get the whole thing about, hating someone and holding a grudge against them is like drinking the poison yourself and expecting them to die. Yeah, I totally get that. I do. And, just forgive, do this, do that. It sounds good in theory, but in reality, not so much. Because I feel like if it was that easy to forgive and let things go, I would have done that a long time ago, and I wouldn't be so... I don't know, I'll just have that tightness in my chest, that burning feeling, and that's just from anxiety and stress and resentments and stuff. And I own it 100%. It's just hard to let it go. I mean, this is insane. It was easier for me to give birth to a 9-pound, 6-ounce child with no epidural than to, forgive people for the past. That's done and over with. But one thing that kind of helps is realizing that hurt people, they're hurting too, they're broken too, they're wounded too, and clearly there's something or some things in their past that led them to be the way they are. But between, the first husband I just told you guys about, and then the second one that I had the kids with, between those two dudes, I hated men for a long time. A long time. But the fact of the matter is, not every man is like that. Just like women. I mean, there are women out there, they'll cheat with the best of them. But not every woman is like that. I mean, we're all sinners. We all fall short. But I don't feel like, everybody is out there to hurt you or to victimize you. This world is full of good and bad. And I really hope that me doing these lives is of inspiration to someone. Because, look at me. Like I said, I've swam up from Challenger Deep. I'm walking on the beach. I've improved that much. Now, straight ahead is Mount Everest. So I got to climb that. And that's exactly how I described, recovery. It's like one big step after another, after another, after another. It's a lifetime of being responsible and being held accountable for the things that you have done and said and this and that and, it's a lot. People are like, some people are like, well, hey, you got clean and sober. Good for you. I guess it's over then. Your life is good. No. Getting clean and sober, that's the first step. Recovery, that's a lifetime commitment. And I feel like it was, it's more difficult for me to get through certain things because I did self-medicate for so long and avoided, things and avoided, having to, to come to terms with hurt and woundedness and things that I've done that have been horrible to people. But now being 100% clean and sober, I have to kind of, sit with those feelings. And that's one of the reasons why, people choose to, keep relapsing or to get high or to do whatever. It's because it's hard to deal with the real world. It's hard to deal with the past, especially if you can't forgive yourself and others. You know what I mean? It's freaking just crazy. And it's one of those things I have to continue to be held accountable in terms of, staying clean and sober. Where I live, I do random UAs at least once a month. And it's so crazy, too. Another thing is, having the relapse nightmares, dude. You know, you wake up, you have this horrible nightmare where you were doing all kinds of drugs or drinking or even something as silly as smoking a cigarette, and then you wake up and it's like, oh gosh, that was horrible. And that's how it feels. I remember I have these dreams where I would, use my drug of choice, right? And in the dream, it's like, I don't know why I did that, because they could text me anytime now to do a UA, and I'm in trouble. That's it. It's over for me. Plus I have to start all over again. You know what I mean? It's just, Now, I feel like those kind of dreams, the longer you're clean and sober, the less likely you are to have them. I'm hoping. I mean, for me, it's been a while since I've had dreams like that. There was a while there, like earlier this year, where I was having relapse dreams at least 2-3 times a week. But it really does, come with the territory. And did I mention that I've been cigarette free for 5 years? Yeah, it's been, 5 years and a couple of days. Never thought I'd go 5 minutes without a smoke. Back when I was working at St. Vinny's, full time and making money and this and that, I was smoking what? Jeez. Between like a pack and a half and 2 packs of cigarettes a day? I was literally like, I feel like I would drop the kids off at daycare. I'd go down the road to the gas station, buy a pack of cigarettes there, start smoking them as I'm driving to work, not even caring, about smoking in the car. Just ridiculous, asinine things I did. Like I said, very cringe-worthy stuff. And then I feel like I went through that whole pack throughout the day at work, on lunch breaks and, my 10-minute, 15-minute breaks, whatever, right? And then at the end of the day, I feel like I drove down to, because there was a smoke shop that was just down from where I worked. This nice Korean lady worked there, and she would always fill up my Zippo lighter for me because I didn't like dealing with butane or whatever fuel it is. I don't know, but she would always do that for me, so I didn't have to. But I'd go there after work and pick up another pack of smokes, which would last until the next morning, and then repeat. I mean, that's crazy. And Washington State is notorious for having extremely expensive tobacco products. And just the fact I waste all that money on cigarettes, that's another cringeworthy thing. It's like, wow, really? You just were not thinking, Deborah. At all. Or if I was, it obviously wasn't about the right things. Okay, so I already talked about that guy from Wisconsin who faked his own death so he could run, fly to another country to be with this woman that he had met online, leaving his wife and his 3 kids behind. I guess this video came out of him saying that he's happy and he's not coming back. Well, good. That's better for the wife and the kids. Maybe she'll find a man who actually appreciates her, you know what I mean? I mean, that's insane. You're going to meet somebody online who you don't even know at all, and they could be lying to you like we already talked about. Catfishing, lying, and then he falls for it and then runs away to be with this person. Can't make this stuff up. Okay. Well, I am going to let you all go. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. It's usually me ranting and raving. Well, not really, but me telling you about my life and my struggles and how I will overcome them one of these days, God willing. And like I said, pray for me. It's very important. Forgiveness is a huge piece of being a Christian. If you can't forgive others, God most certainly cannot forgive you. At all. So, yep. And we all need forgiveness. So have a wonderful night, everyone. Stay safe out there. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And those of you who have stuck with me for this long, God bless you all. I'm very grateful for you. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.